Students, can you see the screen now? Can you see this?
Yes, sir.
Okay, for just a minute, we will start this. Students, you already learned so many times about function. I will just give brief introduction about the function because you must be very clear with function concept. Then only you can understand the difference between one function and this normal function. You know that function can be compared with mathematical calculator. What happens is if we give the valid input, let us say I am giving the valid input x1 and it must produce the output. Output is normally denoted as y. Here it is specific output, hence I denote it as y1, and this output can also be written in terms of input as f of x1. So the condition for the calculator, mathematical calculator is if valid input is given means definitely it must produce output. In case the valid input is does not produce output means the function cannot be called, this relation cannot be called as a function. Students, do you understand this? Students, the first step, did you understand this? Please reply. Please
Yes,
reply,
sir.
students. Okay, students. And one input cannot produce two different outputs. This is the most important concept. It cannot produce two different outputs. In case 2x is the function mean, if you give x value as 5 means it has to produce the output 10. It cannot produce other than 10 as an output. One input can produce only one output. Okay, students, this is the main introduction about functions. Now we will learn about one function. Actually, students, I need to tell you some more information. The input that we give, can be called as pre-image. Input is called as pre-image and the output is called as image. The output is called as image. There is different term. What is the image of x means? Image of x is y. Students, do you understand this? What is the, for example, here the function is, let us say 2x. We are giving x is equal to 4 and we get 8 as an output. So what is the image of 4 under this relation? Students, under this function, the image of 4 under the function, uh, 2x, f of x is equal to, f of x is equal to 2x means image of 4 under the function f of x is equal to 2x is 8. Similarly, this 4 can be called as pre-image of 8. In case the question is, what is the pre-image of, what is the pre-image of, pre-image of 8 under the function, f of x is equal to 2x means it is 4. Students, do you understand this? Students, can you understand what I
Sir,
said? Yes, ma?
sir, Nandashri admit பண்ணிக்கணும்.
Okay, ma. Okay. Okay, students. So input is can be called as pre-image of the output, and output can be called as image of the required input, the valid input. Students, do you understand the meaning of image and
Yes, sir.
pre-image? Nandastri, for you, I am once again explaining. I am giving the input as 5 for this function, and we are getting the corresponding output as 10. This 10 can be called as image of this 5 under this function. Image of 5 under the function 2x is 10. Okay, the output can be called as image, the input is called as pre-image. The pre-image of, pre-image of 10 under the function f of x is equal to 2x means they are asking what is the input to get this output 10. This is the output, right? They are asking pre-image. Pre-image means what input should be given to get this output. Here the answer is 5. So input is called as pre-image, output is called as image. These are two technical terms that we come across this one function. I hope, sorry, this is just an introduction of this function concept. Next, we will move on to the concept of one function. One function. Here, the important concept is here. You know that this is set x, this is set y, and let us say this is x1, x2, x3, and so on, xn. Here we have y1, y2, y3, and so on, yn. One function means here you know that this is called as image set, pre-image set, and this one y set can be called as image set, right? Image set. Let us, students, please listen very carefully. The output y1 should have only one pre-image. Only one pre-image. The image must have only one pre-image. It cannot have more than more than one pre-image. Y1 should be related to only one pre-image. For example, if you take the function of x square, if I give plus 5, I am getting the output as 25. I am giving minus 5 means again it will give the output of 25. If you observe this concept, this image has two different pre-image. Hence, this cannot be called as one function. This is called as many one function. If a function is not one means it is called as many one function. Students, are you clear? One image can have only one pre-image, in one function. This is the important property of one function. Students, are you clear? Students, are you clear? Please reply to me.
Sir.
Are you clear, students? If your function is not one means it is called as many one function. Are you clear with this, students? Students, now my question is, okay, thank you. Now I am asking the question. Jaswant, you think and tell me. Jaswant, are you there?
Yes, sir.
Jaswant, you observe the question carefully. Next, I will ask the question to Nardasri. So please, both of you listen carefully. Now, let us say that input set x is, let us say this is x. Number of elements in the set is n of a. And y is the output set. Let us say this is n of b. Now, my question is, can I have n of a less than n of b? This is my question. Can I have one function like this? This is my question.
Sir, no, sir.
Why?
Sir, one input or output தானே sir இது produce பண்ற மாதிரி இருக்கும்.
Think twice and tell me.
Output வந்து அதிகமா இருக்கும்.
Output அதிகம். ஏன் தம்பி அது கோடுமைனா கூட இருக்கலாம்ல? கோடுமை, அது கோடுமை தானே? You know that this is கோடுமை. This is 1 minute my cursor. This is called as domain, right? This is called as codomain. The output means you are talking about range, right? Set of all output
yes,
is known as range. So think twice and tell me one function.
Sir, but ஆனா ஒரு இமேஜ் வந்து ஒரு ப்ரீ இமேஜ் தானே சார் இருக்கும்.
ஆமாப்பா.
அது எப்படி சார் அவுட்புட் வந்து கொடுக்குற அவுட்புட் இருக்கும் சார், இருக்கும் சார்.
இருக்கும்ல, கரெக்ட்டா? ஆனா கிரேட்டரா தான்ப்பா இருக்க முடியும். Greater, less than or equal to is allowed. It is allowed. ஓகேங்களா?
Yes, sir.
In case,
yes, sir.
Listen, now I want to say one more point, very important point. In case, 1 minute, students, n of a is greater than n of b. Is it allowed in one function?
No, sir.
Let us say that n of b is actually, you assume this as a range, set of all elements, set of all outputs. Okay, you don't consider this as codomain, you just consider this set as a range and tell me whether it can have like this or not. Tambi, it's a set of all range. Sorry, set of all outputs. Set of all outputs is called as range. Here, assume that set Y is the range set. Can we have this? N of A is greater than N of B. Nandasri,
Yes,
you
sir.
answer this question. Wait, wait. Nandasri, you try to answer this question. Are you there, Nandasri?
Yes, sir.
Okay, if you don't know, pass this question to Divya.
Sir, N of A should not be greater than, sir, 1 minute only. So N of B should not be lesser than N of A, sir.
Correct, ma. Tamila, listen, I told you that N of B is the set of range, set of all outputs. In case here we have three different outputs and here we have only two input means definitely if it is a function means this can, sorry, it cannot exist. For the three, we may not have the pre-image. Do you understand this, students? The three may not have pre-image. If it is one function means definitely three must have pre-image. Do you understand this, students? Can you
Yes, sir.
understand? 1 minute, someone has given the request. Hamsa, 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 are you there, Hamsa? For sound all எங்கேயோ request கொடுத்துட்டு போயிட்டான். Students, did you understand, students, about one function?
Yes, sir.
Students, okay, pa. Hamsa, did you say yes? Listen, students, all of you, please listen carefully. Now I am taking enough. We are going to derive the formula for one function. How many one function is possible? Students, we are going to derive it. You just listen carefully. Let us say this is set A and which has number of elements is n of A. N of A means number of elements in set A. Let us assume that which is equal to P, and then we have set B. Number of elements in set B is equal to Q. Okay, students, let us assume that here A, B, C, D like this is there. Here we have something like 1, 2, 3 and so on. Okay, students, now listen carefully. If you now we are talking about one function. How many one function can be created if n of A and n of B is given? That is what we are going to listen the question carefully. How many possible one question? How many total number of one function can be created using the n of A and n of B? In case n of A is equal to P and n of B is equal to Q means how many one function can be created? We are talking about the possibility. How many one function can be created by us using this? We are talking about possibility only. We are not going to write each and every one function here. So please understand that. We know that one function means from image only we will go to pre-image, right, students? Every image must have one pre-image. Do you understand this, students? Every image, I write this here, every image in set B must have only one pre-image, in set A. This is the condition. So when I choose this first one, 1, 2, 3, we are going into this probable, what is it, permutation combination concept. N of B has Q elements, right? So there are Q elements. For one, students, here I am talking about the output, that is image. One image, the number one is called as image. This image can join with any one of the P possibilities. It will not join with each and every element. In front of it, it has P objects. Students, please listen carefully. Here P options are there. Number of options it has. Number of options available for number one, that is image one, is it can join with only one. For example, if you choose the best answer, only one answer is correct means the number of options you have may be 4, but the correct answer will be only one. We are talking about possibility means We will say we have 4 different options. Students, do you understand what I say?
Yes, sir.
Students, can you understand this?
Yes, sir.
1 minute more. So the first one can join with any of the P objects, P options available, but it is going to link with only one because it is a one function. It must have only one pre-image, but the available options to choose from is one P. Do you understand this, students? Students, please tell me, did you
Yes, sir.
understand this or not?
Yes, sir.
Okay. Next one is for this number 2, it has to join with only one pre-image, but the option available in front of this 2 is P minus 1 because there were already P elements, out of which one element is connected with number 1, right? Now remaining we will have only P minus 1. Students, do you understand what I say?
Yes, sir.
Here we are
Yes, sir.
talking about the options, not the exact value. So number of options available for 2 will be P minus 1. And then number of options available for this image 3 to join with the pre-image will be P minus 2. Students, are you clear? Like this, it will keep on
Yes, sir.
going till this Q. Here Q will be Q minus P minus 1. Q minus of P minus 1 will be there. If we solve some example, you will exactly understand, but we do not have the time for this. So I'm just writing like this. So P into P minus 1 into P minus 2 into, it will keep on going like 5 into 4 into 3 into and so on. It will keep on going. Like you know that it comes under the concept called permutation. Here the permutation formula for this is Q factorial divided by Q minus P factorial, which can be written as QP and another P form. Okay, this P is talking about this P, right? Number of elements. Otherwise, I can easily write this as N of B P N of A. Do you understand this, students? Number of
Yes, sir.
functions that can be created out of the given 2 functions is N of B P N of A. Students, are you clear? Students, are you
Yes,
clear
sir.
about one
Yes,
function?
sir.
Yes,
Now,
sir.
thank you, students. Based on the concept we learned in one function, we are going to find out how many functions can be created. It can be one function, many one function, on two function, in two function. In general, the question is how many functions can be created if 2 sets are given to you. 1 minute, students. We will learn that formula. How many functions can be created? There is a formula for it. 1 minute. Okay, students. Now assume that here set A presents number of elements in set A is denoted as n of A. Here set B is present. Number of elements in set B, let us say n of B. Function means here and generally we are talking about functions. We are not specific about one function or on two function. In general, we are talking about function. The function can be one, many one, whatever it might be. In case, let us say 1, 2, 3 up to n of A is there. Here, let us say A, B, C and n of B up to n of B is there. For this one, you know that one input can produce only one output. Am I right, students? Students, please understand it. One input can produce only one output. There are so many outputs. Here we have n of b outputs. Let us say n of b is equal to p. 1 minute, students. Let me see the question because how they have set n of a. They have kept n of a as number of elements in set A is p. N of b is equal to q. So n of b is equal to q. So for this number 1, for this input number 1, it can join with any of the output, but it has to join with only one output because one input can produce only one valid output. It cannot produce more than one output. Hence, it can join with any of this. It has the option to produce q outputs, q number of outputs. It has the option, but it is going to choose only one. So for the first number, For the first number, it can have few options. Do you understand this, students? Students, did you
Yes,
understand
sir.
this or not? Please tell
Yes, sir.
me.
Yes, sir.
Okay, for number 2, now tell me how many options will be available for number 2. Divya, are you there?
Sir,
Divya,
yes, sir.
tell me, Divya, for this input 2, how many different possible options are available? Output possibilities available. Is it q minus 1 or q or 2q like that? Divya, can you
Sir,
understand my question?
Q minus 1, sir.
No, ma, it is q minus 1 means it will come under one function. It is many one function, sorry, it is a general function. So, plus 5 also can produce 25, minus 5 also can produce 25. So, do you understand this? This 25, this is the function x square.
2Q, sir.
No, 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 wait, ma. So for this function, for this input minus 5, again it can take all the outputs, but it is going to take only one. It is going to produce only one output, but it can join with any one of the outputs. Do you understand this? மா புரியுதாம்மா எனக்கு அவைலபிலிட்டி மா அவுட்புட் அவைலபிலிட்டியே 5 தான் இருக்குன்னு வச்சுக்க டோட்டல் நம்பர் ஆஃப் அவைலபிலிட்டி வந்து 5 தான் இருக்கு டோட்டல் நம்பர் ஆஃப் அவுட்புட்ஸ் different output available is only 5 means sorry let us say here 6 means this minus 5 can join with any it has the option to choose 6 different outputs but it is going to choose only it is going to produce only one output but it has 6 different possibility. Do you understand this or am I confusing you? Ma confuse இருந்தா சொல்லுமா Divya, can you புரியுதா புரியலையா உண்மையா சொல்லு போய் சொல்லாத
சார் புரியுது சார்
ஓகேமா இட் கேன் மா போன இதுல 1 ஃபங்க்ஷன்னா லிசன் 1 ஃபங்க்ஷன்ல வந்து 1 கூட a ஜாயின்ட் ஆயிட்டா b செகண்ட் எலிமெண்ட் வந்து a கூட ஜாயின் பண்ணவே முடியாது பிகாஸ் அது 1 ஃபங்க்ஷன் ஒரு அவுட்புட்டை ஒரே ஒரு இன்புட் தான் ப்ரொடியூஸ் பண்ணனும் two different inputs cannot produce the same output but this is a general function. ஓகேங்களா அப்படிங்கிறப்ப it can be many one function also the 2 can also produce this a. Do you understand this? அப்ப முன்ன வந்து 1 ஃபங்க்ஷன்ல இந்த ஆப்ஷன் ஏங்கிறதே எலிமினேட் ஆயிரும் ஒன்ஸ் a வந்து 1க்கு போயிடுச்சுன்னா அடுத்து a வந்து யாராலையும் ப்ரொடியூஸ் பண்ண முடியாது பட் ஹியர் this general function conceptன்றதுனால again all the options are available for 2 but it is going to produce only one output hence or it can join with any one of them all the options are available to it so it will be again q only. Students, for the third output also again it will be q. If you understand this, here p elements are there in element set a so q times q into like this it will come up to p times. So this can be written as q power p which can be easily by hearted as n of b to the power of n of a. Students, did you understand the formula for number of functions that can be created out of the two sets possible functions? Students, are you clear?
Yes, sir.
If it is one function means we will students if it is one function means the formula is n of b p n of a. This is one function formula. General function number of general functions that can be created is n of b to the power of n of a. Students, are you clear? Students, are you clear with the formula derivation? Students, can you please reply?
Yes, sir.
Okay, pa. Now we will get into the video and we will see it. Then you can understand this. That is the video. Now I will explain this one function. Elements of A are related to B by the function f. The explanation is if the images of distinct elements of A are distinct, that means images of this A, B, C must be distinct. No two inputs should have the same output. I repeat it, no two inputs can have same output. One output should be produced by only one input. It means every image must have only one pre-image. It cannot have two pre-image. Students, are you clear? Please tell me.
Yes, sir.
Yes, sir.
Sir.
Thank you, students. Now we move on to the next slide.
Condition for a function to be one. Consider a function f if for every x1 and x2 the images are equal and the values x1 and x2 are equal, then f is a one-one function. Let us see one example of one-one function.
Students, please observe carefully. They are taking two inputs, x1 and x2. Both of them belong to input set. And the output produced by x1 is f of x1 and output produced by x2 is f of x2. In case both x1, f of x1 and f of x2, in case they say that output 1 is equal to output means definitely both the outputs x1 must be equal to x2 only, because as per one function one image must be connected with only one pre-image. If f of x1 and f of x2 are same means it becomes single output. That single output should be produced by only single input. So definitely x1 must be equal to x2, then only x1 and x2 becomes single input. In case x1 is not equal to x2 means x1 is a different input, x2 is a different input. Do you understand what I say? Students, please tell me, did you
Yes,
understand?
sir.
Yes, sir.
In case output 1 and output 2 are same means both of them become single output. 5 is equal to 5 means we cannot say that there are two different 5s. There is only one 5 which is written two times. Similarly, f of x1 is equal to f of x2 means it is only one output. As per one function, one output should be produced by only one input. One image must have only pre-image. If f of x1 is equal to f of x2 means under one function definitely the two inputs x1 and x2 must be same. In case f of x1 and f of x2 are same but x1 is not equal to x2 means it is not one function. All these concepts were learned by you in 11th standard. You just need to recollect them.
Let A be a set of 10 students. Let f be a function from A to B defined by fx is equal to the whole number of the student x. Let us verify whether it is one-one function or not. Observe that no two students of the class can have the same roll number. Therefore, f must be one-one.
Students, this is a very good example, students. A roll number can be allotted to only one students. Here roll number is the output, students is the input. Do you understand this, students? So
Yes,
one
sir.
roll number can be allotted to only one student. It means that one image can have only only one pre-image. This is a perfect example for one function.
Many one function. Let A and B be two sets as shown below. The elements of A are related to B by the function f. The images of the distinct elements A and B are the same. If the images of the distinct elements of A are same, then the function f is known as many one function. If the function is not one-one, then it is many-one.
Students, you just observe it here. The output y is produced by two different inputs. Hence, the image y has two different pre-image. So it is not one. When it is not one means it is called as many one. This many one function can be called as many input produces one output. I repeated, many inputs produces one output. That is how you can remember it, so that it will be easy for you to understand. Now I move on to the next slide.
Condition for a function to be many. Let f be the function from x to y. If for any x1 and x2 belonging to x and having fx1 is equal to fx2, we have x1 is not equal to x2, then f is a many one function.
Students,
Let
did
us see
you
an example of many one function.
students did you understand this concept? Explanation how
Yes,
to
sir.
proceed.
Yes, sir.
Okay, pa, thank you.
Let f be a function from R to R defined as fx is equal to mod x. Let us verify whether it is many one function or not. We observe that f minus 1 and f1 both have the same value, which is 1 under f. Hence, f is not a one-one function, or f is a many-one function.
Students, did you understand this concept?
Yes, sir.
Yes, sir.
Yes, sir.
Okay, students, thank you. Now we move on to next slide.
Onto or surjective function. Let A and B be two sets, as shown below. The elements of A are related to B by the function f. Here, every element of the set B is the image of some other element of A under f. If for every y belongs to B, there exists an element x in A such that image of x is equal to y, then f is known as onto or surjective function. Let us see an example of onto function.
Students, best definition, the easy way to understand onto function is, in onto function, the codomain is equal to range. That you already learnt in 11th standard. Codomain means it can contain elements that are outputs and non-outputs also, and outputs plus some extra elements constitute codomain. Range mean it consists of only the outputs produced by the input set. Students, are you clear? Here, if codomain is equal to range means that is
Yes,
called
sir.
as onto function. Otherwise, in simple words, I can say that every element in codomain must be must have at least one pre-image. I repeat it once again. Every element in set B must have at least one pre-image. At least one pre-image means at least one input should produce this output. Students, are you clear? So easy way is codomain is equal to range means that function is called as onto function.
Let f be a function from R to R, defined as fx is equal to 2x. Let us verify whether it is an onto function or not. For any given real number n in R, there exists n upon 2 in R such that f n upon 2 is equal to 2 into n by 2, which is equal to n. Hence, f is an onto function.
Students, easy way to understand this is, it is a function from R to R, set of all real numbers to set of all real numbers. You know that if we give real number as an input for the function 2x means definitely it will produce the output that is 2 times of the given function, given input. So all the outputs can have input, right or wrong, students? All the real numbers can have this. Do you
Yes, sir.
understand this or not?
Yes, sir.
Into function. A function f from A to B is called into if and only if there exists at least one element in B, which is not the image of any element of A. Here, the range of f is a proper subset of codomain.
Students, if you observe this set B, there are two elements, 1 and 6, are not the outputs produced by the input set 1, 2, 3, 4, right? So this set B can be called as codomain. If you take out the output produced by the input means 2, 3, 4, 5 only. Here, if you observe it, codomain is not equal to range. When codomain is not equal to range, it can be called as onto function. And in simple words, all the elements in set B do not have pre-image. Here, if you observe it, in set B, the number 1 and number 6 do not have pre-image in set A. Hence, it is called as into function. Are you clear, students?
Yes, sir.
Yes, sir.
Yes, sir.
Thank you, students. Now we will.
In
This
solving the given problem, let us consider
1 minute, students.
Let us now consider the function f from n to n, defined by fx is equal to 2x for all x belonging to n. Then the function is 1, 1 into function, 1, 1 onto function, many 1 into function, or many 1 onto function.
Students, now the input set is natural number. It starts with 1, 2, 3, and it goes like this. It cannot have 0, -1, -2. Similarly, output is also natural number. Hence, The output set also begins with 1 and it goes to 2, 3, 4 and so on up to infinite. I believe you are very clear. Now the given function is 2x. It means that whatever input we give, it will multiply it by 2 and it will produce the output. So first one is students, now we need to check whether it is 1 1 or not. 1 1 function means every image must have only one pre-image. If you take to 1 means, students, now you just observe very carefully in the output set. In case in the codomain set, I repeat it once again, in the codomain set, if you have the number 1, I repeat it once again, in the codomain set is natural number. In the natural number, if you observe it, if 1 will be in the codomain, this 1 cannot be produced by any of the natural number because the function is 2x here. Students, do you understand what I say? Students, do you
Yes, sir.
understand
Yes,
this or
sir.
I have to explain? 1 minute, I will explain, write it and explain it to you. Some of you may not understand this. Students, here they say that the input set is natural number. So it starts with 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6 and so on. Here this is codomain. Let us say this is set A and this is set B. It is 1, 2, 3, 4, 5 and it goes up to infinite. Here the function is 2x. Whatever input it receives, it will multiply it by 2. For 1 it will give 2. For 2 it will give 4. For 3 it will give 6. So if you observe this, here codomain is not equal to range, right or wrong? Because codomain is not equal to range. Here we are getting only even numbers as an output, right or wrong? Students, do you understand what I say?
Yes, sir.
So codomain is not equal to range means it is not onto, it is into. Are you clear? The first concept. Are you clear?
Yes, sir.
Students, are you clear? Why it is called as
Yes,
into? Next one is we need to check whether it is 1 1 or many 1. If you observe it, this 1, this 2 is related to only the number 1. 4 is related to only 2. Do you understand this? No other
Yes,
number
sir.
apart from 2 can produce 4. Do you understand this, students? And
Yes, sir.
no number other than 3 can produce 6. So 6 cannot have more than one pre-image. Do you understand this? So it is 1 1 function and into function. Are you clear? Are you clear,
Yes, sir.
students?
Yes,
Now
sir.
we will check the answer. Where is it? 1 1 and into function. This is what see, this is the correct answer. 1 1 and into. The way I explained is maybe different from the way they explain the answer. You just observe
Solving the
it.
given problem, let us consider x1 and x2 belonging to n such that fx1 is equal to fx2. Therefore, we have 2x1 is equal to 2x2. x1 is equal to x2. We
Students,
observe that the function f is 1, 1. Again, the range of the function is equal to the set of all values of 2x such that x belongs to n. Hence, it is a subset of n. Therefore, the function f is into function.
students, are you clear with the explanation? Students, can you understand this? Please
sir.
reply.
Yes, sir.
Okay, students. 1 1.
Or bijective function. Let a and b be two sets as shown below. Let us define a one-time function from a to b. We see that one element of set b does not have its pre-image in set a. Let us make f onto also. To make it onto, we need to remove 1. The function shown below, 1, 1.
Students, this is 1 1 and onto because every image, sorry, every element in set B dash has pre-image. Hence, we can say that codomain is equal to range. Hence, this is equal to onto function. And every element in set B dash has only one pre-image. Hence, it is called as 1 1 function. If a function is both on1 and on2, it can be called as bijective function. Students, are you clear? If a function is both on1 and on2, it is called as bijective function. Students, are you clear or not?
Yes, sir.
Okay, students. Now,
Let us consider one example to illustrate. Let f be a function from R to R. Find as fx is equal to x plus 1. Let us verify that it is 1, 1 and a function or not. Observe that given real number in R, there exists n minus 1 in R such that f of n minus 1 is equal to n minus 1 plus 1 or m. F is an onto function.
I will explain this in detail when we discuss the problems part. Okay. Yes.
Composition of functions.
Students, we will learn about composition function in the next class. I already taught you this concept. Composition function means we are giving an input to a function. The output produced that function will go as an input for the next function. You know that very well, right? That is composition function. Students, do you remember this or not?
Yes, sir.
Yes, sir.
Yes,
Yes,
sir.
sir.
Is from a set S of students who appear in the examination. Each student appearing in the examination is assigned a roll number at the examination board. During the examination, students have to write their roll numbers on the answer sheet. In order to have confidentiality, the examination board effaces the roll numbers of students on the answer sheets and assigns a new code number to each roll number. Let R be the set of all roll numbers and C be the set of all roll numbers. This gives rise to two functions, f such that S is mapped to R and G such that R is mapped to C, where Fs is equal to the roll number assigned to the student S and Gr is equal to the code number assigned to the roll number R. In this process, each student is assigned a roll number to the function f. Each roll number is assigned a code number to the function g. Thus, by the combination of these two functions, each student is eventually attached a code number. This leads to the following definition. If f such that set A is mapped to set B and g such that set B is mapped to set C be two functions, then the composition of f and g, denoted by g of f, is defined as the function of g of f such that set A is mapped to set C. G of f means g following f, and g of f is equal to g of f of x for all x belonging to set A. Let A, B, and C be three sets, shown as follows. Consider a function f that maps from A to B to another function that maps from B to C. The composition of function f into g is given by g of fx for all x belonging to A. Let us take an example to understand. Given that fx and gx are two functions such that fx is equal to 1 upon x and gx is equal to x squared, then find the value of g of f4. Observe that the composition of f and g is equal to 1 upon x whole square or 1 upon x squared. Now for fx is equal to 4, the composition of f into g of x is equal to 1 upon 16.
Students, did you understand this problem? 4 goes as an input for the function f. The output produced by f of 4 goes as an input for g. That is what is explained in the diagram. Students, are you clear? Students, please reply.
Yes, sir.
Yes, sir.
Okay, pa.
Yes, sir.
Thank you, students.
Take one more example. When g are the function from R to R defined as fx is equal to x squared plus 1, gx is equal to sin x. Then find f of g, g of f. Here, observe that x squared is greater than or equal to 0 for all x in R, or x squared plus 1 is greater than or equal to 1 for all x in R. Therefore, we have fx is greater than or equal to 1 for all x in R. Thus, the range of f is the interval 1 less than or equal to x less than.
Students, here we need to check one important concept. They missed it. In case, I will explain. 1 minute, students. I will explain it with the diagram. Then you can understand them. Students, let us assume that f of x is the first function, g of x is the second function. Here we are giving x as an input. This is domain of this first function, and the output produced, let us say f of x1 is x1. So this is called range of the function f of x, right? This output only goes as an input for g of x. In case the domain of g of x does not accept this particular output. Students, do you understand this? The domain of g of x should be, what is it, superset of, domain of g of x is superset of f, a range of f of x. Then it can produce the output. For example, students, in case here the function is, let us say g of x is 1 by x. Here it is x minus 2. Let us say f of x is x minus 2. I am giving the input as 2. This 2 goes as an input and it produces the output 0. Here the output 0 cannot go into g of x, because if 0 goes as an input means we will get infinite. It is invalid output. Students, do you understand what I say? So you know that for g of x we cannot give the input of 0. Hence the range of this first function should be the subset of range of first function should be, must be, otherwise must be subset of second function. In case if it is not the subset means it may not be in the position to produce the output, because if this 2 is the valid input for this f of x, but the output produced by 0 should be given as an input for g of x. If one input is given means definitely the function should produce output. Here the input given is invalid input, hence g of x cannot produce output. Hence we must give only valid input to g of x. That valid input of g of x should be produced by f of x. Hence here 2 cannot be given as an input for f of x. Students, do you understand what I say? Students, please reply. Students,
Yes, sir.
can you hear me?
Yes, sir. Yes, sir.
Yes, sir.
என்னப்பா இப்ப வரான் கிளாஸ் முடிகிற நேரத்துல? நீ எதுக்கு வரான் கிளாஸுக்கு? நொத்துக்கு students, so the thing is the range of the first function should be the subset of domain of the second function. Okay students, the point is missed in the extra class, otherwise they may say it later. So that is why they have calculated range of the first function here. Students, do you understand why do they calculate range of the first
Yes,
function?
sir.
Right? Now we need to now we need to check whether the range of the first function is the subset of the second function domain or not. Here second function is g, whose domain is set of all real number. So 1 come up 1 to infinite means it is like set of all positive real numbers. So this is the range of f is the subset of the domain of g. Right students, do you understand?
Yes, sir.
Okay.
Sir.
Yes, sir.
A function f from a to b to another function g from B to C are 1, 1, then G of F from A to C is also 1, 1. For this, suppose the composition of F and G of x1 is equal to composition of F and G of x2. Then G of fx1 is equal to G of fx2. Hence, fx1 is equal to fx2 as it is given that G is 1, 1. And it implies that x1 is equal to x2 as f is 1, 1. Therefore, the composition of f and G is 1, 1.
Students, we have learned that if it is f of x is continuous and g of x is continuous, means f of x plus g of x is continuous. Similarly, f of x minus g of x is continuous. Similarly, f circle g is also continuous. Similarly, if f is 1, 1 function and g is 1, 1 function, means g circle f, otherwise f circle g is also 1, 1 function. That is what they are trying to say.
If a function f is mapped from A to B,
This, students, due to the time limit, I complete the class now. In the next video, we will see the continuation of this concept. Okay?
Okay, sir.
Students, can you hear me?
Okay, sir.
Okay, pa. Thank you. Thanks for the
Thank you, sir.
cooperation.
Thank you, sir.
Study well.
Thank you, sir.
Thank you, sir.
Okay, pa.
Thank you, sir.
Thank you, sir.
Study well, students.